Welcome to the
Recording
Town
in
of Pownal
progress.
Select Board meeting, March 26, 2026 at 6 P.M. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Board member roll call.
Robert, Jeannie Alexander,
Mike Gardner, Stallmeyer.
trying to get next year's bolognese recipes.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I trust the streets.
Tonight's agenda.
Oh, can I move to amend this agenda before we approve it, please? I'd like to amend the agenda to include a second executive to discuss legal reasons why we have thus far not been able to accept the report and recommendations from the committee regarding the old town hall. There are some unresolved issues and questions that need to be answered there. And I believe that they are of a privileged and legal nature. And so I'd like to get those addressed tonight so we can either move forward or understand what we need to do.
And we need to delete item 13 from tonight's agenda. We'll add the legal executive after the contractual executive.
Second that motion, as with the changes.
I have a motion to approve the agenda with the changes. In a second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any public comment, Hannah? Tim?
Did you say Colin or not?
Hello, people. First of all, I'd like to thank Jeannie very much for having the discussion on the recommendation from the Old Town Hall Committee. I'd just like to make sure that when you come out of the session, that hopefully some kind of comment can be made to say no action was taken. At the same time, I also like to add that in continued years, we've had executive sessions where we go into contracts and we go into a lot of other things. Unfortunately, a lot of this was happening and we had no idea if anything was discussed or any actions were taken. So I'd like to see if we could continue with tonight being the start, that when you come out of executive session, you don't automatically just say, I move to close the meeting, that it be put into the record, open records, that there was no action taken, because we'll never know if any of these contracts that you guys are dealing with, and who knows why we're discussing contracts in executive session and not being able to tell the townspeople the reason for certain contracts is kind of overwhelming to me. I mean, I think executive sessions need to be done to protect the town, but they also need to inform the town of what is happening in this town. My second comment is regard to your discussion regarding the board liaison that is on the agenda tonight. I have no idea what the discussion will be, but I figured I'd speak up early this time so that I'm not here until late night. It's time we bring back to the table the town administrator. This town voted many years ago, a couple of years ago, to have a town administrator. And we did have a very nice town administrator. For some reason, it was at a time when a lot of stuff was happening back in executive session. And for some undisclosed reason, he decided that he did not want to continue on as Pownal town administrator. Right now, we have an executive assistant, we have an administrative assistant, we have a board, a secretary. As a taxpayer, I do not feel we need another position, assuming that is what the discussion will be. I think we need to come to the table that we have a good leadership of this town that can help out the board. You have said many times that our current executive assistant assistant is doing the job of a town administrator. Well, then I think it's time that we either put that person into the position as town administrator, if we're going to pay close to the salary that a town administrator would get, at the same time, to require that the job is reviewed and judged as a town administrator and not as an executive assistant, which, I mean, there's just more items that I think are happening there than, I think the town needs to have happen. We have many things coming down the road, that you guys need to also have a special session to kind of let us know what's happening with the bridge. Are we financially secured for the next 5 years with that bridge? Is there a problem with the continued problem with the landfill? And are we financially secured for the next 5 years? What's going to happen with our emergency services? That it's not going to increase our budget. I'm worried about the assessment that's going to come up. My house is probably going to increase more than 50% of the houses I've driven around this town, and there are houses that are just not being maintained, which is not their fault because there's a lot of taxes going on. And I just feel my value is going to go up, which is going to increase my taxes over any of the others. And I just am starting to worry about where this town is heading. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
If I could just remute him. Thank you. Thanks, Hannah. Jim, just a point of clarification in case anybody else who's watching is confused. On the agenda, the town liaison discussion, the board liaison discussion, sorry. I think that's worded a little bit strangely. It's a discussion about our area of expertise and which select board members will collaborate with and work directly with the different areas of the town, like the highway, RFPs, grant applications, ethics, ordinances, that sort of thing. It's typical, it's normal. We do it every session. So I'm sorry if the terminology was a little confusing, but that's what it's about.
It's not to hire another person, Jim. It's all board responsibilities where each board member takes a certain part of the town or certain department or whatever, and they're the person, kind of the go-to person for wastewater, transfer station, dog, animal control, those type of things. So sorry for the confusion on that. Approval of minutes, March 12th, 2026.
Second.
Any corrections? Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
March 19th, 2026, special select board meeting.
Second.
Any questions, discussion on that? That was with
Sheriff's Department.
our law enforcement.
Yep.
Just so.
Yes, because it's state police too.
Yeah, and state police, so. Hearing no corrections or discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Warrants, accounts payable, March 20th, $58,071.46.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable, March 27th, $35,198.91.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, March 20th, $12,228.96.
Second.
Discussion?
Nope.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, March 27th, $12,522.06.
So moved.
Any questions, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Updates from town officials.
I have two.
Can you just speak up, Julie? So
Sorry.
everyone can hear you? You're a little soft over there.
I have two. I have a liquor license for the American Legion Post 90 for a third class and a first class club license. They already paid their $70 on 3/18.
It's the board's pleasure.
I'll make a motion that we accept both of those. We accept both of them.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second for the American Legion for a third class in the club license ready.
They will have another one at another time.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Okay, and then the next thing I have is that absentee ballots went out yesterday for our elementary school revote for April 14th. So we will be doing another election on April 14th.
And the school system's paying for that, right, Julie?
Yes.
Okay. Right,
So I-
any other updates from town officials? I don't have anything, I get some things I'm working on, but nothing concrete as far as, zoning and health go. So highway annual financial plan discussion and possible action. Everyone got this, Joel sent this out, this is, it's normal stuff that we do every year, it's his fiscal year.
Yep.
From July 1, 26 to June 30th, 2027. It's just his annual. This needs to be signed by the whole board. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to approve as written.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion?
I did.
As to me. Thank you, Jamie. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
I abstain because I haven't looked at it. I haven't seen it, so I don't.
You can, of course. And that's probably the proper thing to do, Joel. Thank you. Um. There's another one from Joel. Grants and aid. I don't see that anywhere else in here. Which is just a letter of intent to participate in the municipal grants and aid. Road program.
But that doesn't need a vote, does it, Dixon?
It doesn't need a vote,
You'll give the bless.
but yeah,
Okay,
yeah. This one, the first one is signed by the whole board. The intent to participate is signed by the board chair. As long as the board's fine, with this, it's something we do every year, it's nothing out of the ordinary.
okay.
Move forward, applying for the grant.
Sign all that. Perfect. Moving right. Appointed positions, discussion and possible action. So we have, multiple applicants for DRB and planning commission. I'd like to do interviews on, let me see when the next meeting's gonna be. April 9th. Be our next meeting. I like to do interviews for all of the candidates for the DRB and the planning commission. I'd like to start at 5 o'clock and do 10-minute question and answer sessions.
It's April 9th.
Yep.
Yeah, there's, I think there's four for the DRB, and I think there was 2 or 3 for planning commission.
2 for planning. 3 for DRB,
Four,
actually,
there's 4 for DRB,
4 for DRB, 2 for planning, as far as I know.
I think, yeah, so, I'd like to do the 2 planning commission first. And then jump into the DRB, the 4 for that afterward.
Yep, that sounds good.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
So our next meeting will be at 5 o'clock, April 9th, for the interviews for those. Does that work for you, Julie?
Can I make a suggestion that we include the fence viewer, because there's 2 of them? Or you don't need to, or they automatically go in?
I don't think we'd have time enough to do the fence viewer.
Because there's, okay, okay,
Yeah, there are 2 applying for 3 position vacancies.
okay. All right, then never mind.
Right. And one of our, I just think we have so much The fence viewer, I'm not worried about as much as the other two because we have so much interest in the DRB and the planning commission. And I'd like to get those positions out of the way, and then we could certainly bring the fence viewer back on the 23rd. If we have, other thing, and we can interview for that as well, because I think that's been our policy, is interviewing people for seats, not just taking on applicant.
Yes.
Does that work for everybody? But we could probably do the 23rd, we could probably do 5:30 or 5:45 or something like that, right before our regular meeting. But we can set that, let's set that time on the 9th,
Do you wanna interview? Stuff from it as well?
Let's do both, because that's what we've been doing. And then we can set those times at our next regular meeting. Right? Updating discussion regarding the ongoing animal control issue and possible action. Jamie?
Reached out to Bob. I haven't been able to set up a time to meet up with him. I drove up there twice and have not witnessed the animals being out either time that I've been out. That I have been up in that area. But I'm gonna reach out to Bob again. See if, just try to set up a time for both of us to show up. If he's not available, then I'll take and go over the animal control ordinance with the individuals and stress that this is gonna be leading into us convening as a board and further action may be taken.
Can I ask a quick question? Clarifying, like, so you've been out there twice and you haven't seen the dogs. Have we had any complaints since?
I don't know if we've had any more complaints come through, because
I haven't,
I'm not getting them on the phone that I have,
and I haven't gotten any.
so.
Maybe they got the message.
Let's hope, right?
Yep. Anyway.
Okay. Board liaison discussion.
Do they have?
I guess we're down to the, area of expertise, RFPs, knowing what the RFPs are coming due. New service contracts, reviewing RFPs before they're presented to the board for approval.
Do you wanna do them now, Mike, or do you want us to look at them and then bring them back? Like we did last time, and just put and go from there. I have one half dozen, one three quarters the other.
I don't have a problem staying with.
Yeah, I think what I'd like to do with this is, have. Cause there's four board members that returning. But it's not fair to Julie right now, because I don't think she knows what is or isn't open. Because we don't have that listed right now. So if we could have a list of what Ryan was on, so that all of us know that. Right. Right, and, we can make adjustments from there. I think that's probably the best thing to bring this back to 9th. Just so that we can have an idea, so it's fair to Julie to know who was with, what, when, where, and why. She doesn't, you don't have a idea, right, Joel? Okay, I just think being fair to her,
Yeah.
then that's.
I think that's a good idea, and maybe someone wants to switch something. I mean, there are a lot of positions here open, and like each of us are going to take a minimum of 5, and some of us will be taking 6. So there's a lot
Right.
here.
There's a lot of things in here, so.
And last year, that's what you all did, like Kara went through them, she listed them all, and then you all just.
And if we were like, if 2 of us were interested in something, we had a discussion about why we had the interest and
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think we initially started this a lot, that did have to.
Maybe we can just do that again. That's fine.
Right, so I think let's have this filled out the way we're set up now. From the last year, and then we'll move forward. Like I said, it gives Julie a little bit of an opportunity to see what. Is out there and how things are set up. Rather than going in totally blind.
If we could get that circulated to the entire board again, in case anyone needs a reminder about what Brian was on, that would be awesome. Thank you.
13 we removed. Okay, discussion, and updates with Town Rescue Squad, so whoever's gonna speak, you'll come up to the table because we have trouble. With people hearing what's going on back, so.
Last time you read the things. Basically, I have the.
I did not see that Becky from Tara, to be honest with you. But if you have something, I'll be happy to read it, I'm fine.
Just what we basically what we had last, just
Okay,
updated.
okay. Thank you, Becky.
Yeah.
And we will put this into the minutes of the meeting, this report, so anybody who has trouble following along, it'll be in the minute. And this is something that we asked for when I can't keep you all blurry, but December, this is the rescue squad coming back to us with an update that we asked for, quarterly, and we asked for it in December, so thank you for that, Becky.
Yep, December 18th.
Brief outline of our mission, quarterly goals, successes, challenges over the past quarter, and our budget, including requested funds. The mission. I don't think I need to, mission, I don't think that's changed. Mission's all the same. Successes, provided 24/7 coverage, maintained full operational coverage. Responded to 154 calls for service as of March 20th. I'm not gonna go through what the calls are, Becky, unless you want me to. I'm gonna give kind of a synopsis of what this is, and then we'll move forward. Continue to strengthen our workforce through professional development. One EMT advanced to AEMT, one VEFR advanced to the EMT level. 2 additional providers are nearing completion of certification and advancement courses. Maintained a strong collaboration with the regional partner. Working on 2026 fundraisers. They're in the process of planning an open house. Do you have a ballpark idea when the timeline would be for that, Becky? Just
I was thinking the end of July.
end of July, so look for an open house. At the rescue squad somewhere, end of July, maybe 1st of August, somewhere in there, later summer. They've applied for numerous grants, applied for congressional funding. They put out the corporate sponsorship for 2026. Those are the successes in a nutshell. Challenges in a nutshell. Same thing, non-competitive compensation scale, increased provider burnout due to reliance on volunteer hours. January was 244, February was 126, March as of the 20th was 76 hours. They're seeing a 32% call volume decrease. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's gonna affect your income.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's also gonna affect your expenses, but more than likely it's gonna affect your income more than it'll affect the expenses. Okay,
Wait, did you say decrease?
yes. Increase.
Can I ask you a quick question? Like, so what do you, I mean, I'm not asking you to like make predictions, but like, what do you attribute that to? Do you know why that would be?
I attribute that to the mutual aid compensation that we requested from neighboring towns. So we requested.
Yeah.
Funds from them for going mutual aid and they up staff to.
Oh, what a concept.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Beck. With an honest answer. Continued inability to secure grant funding for operational support. Lack of financial reserves for large capital purchases as frontline equipment and vehicles begin to age and require replacement. Discussions of decreasing coverage hours for financial reasons. Goals and visions for 26-27. Finding sustainable financial support, have better community attendance for informational education sessions and fundraising attempts. find financial support to be able to offer competitive wages to the employees. Expand community education and community outreach. I'm gonna ask a question, Becky, you have any plans on that? Any ideas, any thoughts?
For which one?
Expanding your community education and community outreach.
We plan to do, some community CPR classes for free. Someone would obtain they wouldn't obtain a certification for the free class, but they would get the knowledge of, knowing CPR and Narcan administration and stuff like that. At the open house, we have a bunch of games that we've talked about, and the game would be, splinting and bandaging, wound care, bleeding control, CPR, stuff like that. So incorporating that into our open house.
So before we go too much further, Hannah, is Jim still in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, Jim, are you able to hear the responses? And I only remember Jim being in, so I'm sorry, that's why I'm picking on Jim. Are you able to hear the responses from Becky, okay, Jim, or should we have her come up to the table?
No, I can hear her loud and clear. I just wanted to make sure that, my major concern is the outside coverage of town,
Okay.
out of town coverage. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Jim, for that. I just want to make sure we can hear. I know we've had trouble with that. Sorry, lost my place. Okay. Apply and obtain grant funding for required equipment such as cardiac monitors and other necessary equipment. Publish a 3-year plan. Attend and participate in more community events. Insurance reimbursement rates remain stagnant, do not reflect the true cost of providing EMS services. This is out of our control. State level financial pressures, including required payments such as the ambulance assessment fee, further reducing available operating revenue. So, that's one of the things that we addressed with our legislators and senators a little bit. And I think I'd like to plan at some point, I won't do it tonight, but to bring them back and say, hey, look I think that's something that we need to, all small towns need to push that a little bit. If the state's gonna mandate things such as that, then give us, give a little help here on, financially, okay? So, just, that's been in the back of my mind, Becky. I just want you guys to know that. Finances, January 1st, 25 through December 31st, 25, insurance deposits. This is income, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't change the date. It was January 1 to March.
First quarter
Yes, first quarter.
So it should be January,
to March.
It should be January 1, 26 to March 20th, 26.
okay. I don't think we've seen this.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I emailed it out to Tara.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
We'll give her a pass with the flu.
Yeah, things are coming up from both ends.
Well, that's why I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing that.
Income, insurance deposits, 61,184. SVMC transfer contract, 15,000. Donations, 5,992 for a total net income of 82,176. That is from January 1, 2026 up until March 20th, 2026. Okay. Yep, no, that's fine, Becky. And all of these numbers on here are for that period, correct? Okay. Expenditures. Workman's comp, $6,500. Ambulance parts, payments and fuel, $8,200. Billing, $3,522. Building grounds and utilities, $4,238. Medical supplies, $2,472. Payroll, $103,956 for a total total net expenses of $128,888. Income was $82,176. Net expense, $128,888. Net profit or loss, which was a loss of $46,712. Okay, these are important notes. Average response times for 2025. Dispatch time, dispatch time to the time they were en route was 4.08 minutes. Dispatch time to the time they were on scene was 9.5 minutes. Comparison times from 2017 when they were fully volunteer. Dispatch time to time where they were en route was 19.20 minutes. Dispatch time to on scene was 11 minutes. This is just a general synopsis at the end. Are you missing anything here? As insurance coverage is difficult to obtain or maintain, the use of safety net services like Pownal Rescue and emergency departments most likely will increase since access to emergency care is guaranteed. We are required to respond, assess, and transport patients when necessary, regardless of a patient's ability to pay. No changes to the EMS structure from the state and federal levels at this time. Without sustained and increased funding, PRS faces risk to staffing stability, response capability, and long-term service availability. Rising operational costs and stagnant reimbursements exacerbate these challenges. Ambulance replacement will be needed in 1 to 3 years, approximately $200,000 to $250,000. Cardiac monitor replacement is needed in 0 to 3 years, approximately $120,000. Mutual aid responses help fill regional EMS gaps while increasing call volume and supporting revenue generation. This aging demographic increases demand for EMS services related to medical emergencies, bowels and chronic health conditions. Reliable advanced EMS coverage is essential to community health, safety, and resilience. Municipal funding represents 23% of Pownal Rescue's revenue to maintain operations, which has been consistent over the last several fiscal years. Without an increase, we face serious financial implications, and the risk for lack of EMS coverage is high. You want to add anything to that, Becky? Anybody from the rescue squad? Have any questions from the board for the rescue squad? Go ahead, Joe.
Who are your board members? Like,
This is Kevin Davis, he's our treasurer. Paul Pangburn, he's our president. And Bentley Munsell is absent, he's our secretary.
thank you.
I will say, I'll add that Becky and I have been playing email tag, trying to set up a meeting. We talked about, gosh, it's like the last meeting, getting together to like look at grants and work on stuff. And so we finally just hit upon the brilliant idea. Can we just text and schedule? And like, we finally got it done. So we're supposed to get together tomorrow. So I look forward to that. And I appreciate you being diligent and reaching out. Thank you.
I will just say we've applied to everything we can find that we are available to apply for. There's 2 more that we are looking at. There's a Department of Transportation grant we're looking at and a USDA grant. But that has to go through a loan process application first. Those are 2 that I currently have, that I'm working on. And again, every grant is for equipment, none of it is for operational needs, which we are.
Anything else for the rescue squad?
Nope, not this time.
Anybody?
Straightforward.
Thank you. Have you had any, I'm just curious about volunteers. Have you had any increases, any new volunteers?
No new volunteers. We put out a couple things on Facebook and a couple things on, job sites looking for volunteers, and there has been no one knocking on the door to fulfill those roles.
Maybe we could put something on the sign out here on the corner of North Pownal Road.
Yeah, I agree. We need to, I think that it would help. if We could give some assistance with getting that word out.
Not to say it's gonna work back, but a little bit, if we can try. Right.
Up here for all emergency services.
Yeah, when there's,
Same boat.
when the sign is empty, when there's not an event going on somewhere, I don't think it would hurt to have, you contact your local emergency services to volunteer or whatever, something along those lines.
Yeah.
We can figure out a wording for it. Okay.
It's your monthly meeting now.
We don't, our board meetings are typically on the second Monday or Tuesday of the month.
That when you hold your regular meeting as far as.
We don't have those anymore.
They don't have those anymore
Nope.
because they're not volunteers.
Well, I understand that, but I didn't know if they still met. That way, if somebody was interested, they could go down and talk to them.
They can go there anytime, 24/7.
Absolutely, doors always.
Just knock on the door. If the ambulances aren't gone, there's gonna be somebody there.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Old business discussion and updates? Any old business? New business for future meetings. Anybody have anything?
Maybe next time. I have something, but I don't know if I don't know if it's worthy to actually do it. I could say it, what the hell?
I don't,
I see some towns upstate that are doing the local option sales tax. And I didn't know if it was something that we should discuss or something like that.
we can always discuss it, Carl.
Well,
One of the things, and we can actually probably incorporate that into this right here. One of the things that I think we have lacked, the more I think about this over the years, I think we lack talk sessions, for lack of a better term, or information sessions, or question and answer sessions for our residents and taxpayers in town. And I'd like to think about, and we can bring it back next meeting, but I'd like to think about setting up a question and answer meeting
do it once a
every,
month.
no, I think, well, I think quarterly,
Okay,
you know, I think if we did a quarterly question and answer session where, we don't have an agenda as a board,
Just listen.
we just listen to people. We listen to concerns, whatever they are.
But then also respond to the degree that we're able.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we can,
Yeah.
that's right, Gene. I think, I think we could, right? But I also think it gives people a chance to bring a concern or a question or something, to the board that, we may not otherwise hear. And I think it gives people an opportunity to speak their mind if they're not happy with something and they couldn't make tonight's meeting or whatever. If we have one every quarter, I was just kind of thinking
We're
of.
gonna do that here. We're gonna do one at the library like
I
we
think
did
we could do
before.
that here.
Well,
Well, that's what that's why we did that other before.
right. And
That's what I'm asking.
so I thought about that too, Jamie, and I think that was, I think we start the first one here and see where we go. I also think that along those lines, I think we should try to get into, I'd like to try to get into some of the other areas of town like we tried. I don't know, it wasn't the greatest success, but we could certainly try, right? We could use the Little League field one night. We have the bleachers for people to sit on, right? And we sit out in front. I don't care. We certainly could use, I'm sure we could use the top of Pownal Estates or somewhere down that way. East Pownal is gonna be.
We're gonna have places, are we gonna have it so that we will be able to interact with people that are like Jim out there? Or, because if we go to like,
Well, we wouldn't be able to Zoom.
that would be, that's where I was getting at.
We wouldn't be able to Zoom. It would be, if we go remotely, people would have to be present. Right?
Can I,
So maybe we could do something a little bit different.
it's suitable for me to get to and out of.
Of course.
Of course.
Awesome.
So I've been thinking
I
about,
don't want to be pushed down the hill and off the or down.
you don't want to go to the deep end of the swimming pool with a ramp?
No.
All right.
Okay. I'm going busy.
I'll make sure, Julie. And the remote thing may be a little bit tough to do because with the Zoom, people wouldn't be able to bring their concerns. But I think the first one, I'd like to schedule for here. And I'd like to do it on a Thursday night because that's our normal meeting night anyway. But I want to do it completely separate from any board meeting because I want to dedicate the entire time, however long we were here.
Well,
Yeah,
it won't be a special, be a listening session,
Right.
but we wouldn't do it on a normal time because then
Exactly.
we don't have to turn around and do any business.
right.
It's just a listening session on that.
Yeah, a question and answers, a talk session, whatever.
Yep.
I got another word for it, but I don't want to use it.
I think,
So,
well, I also think along with that, that it could be a good opportunity for people to bring proposals as well.
sure, absolutely,
Like-
anything, right? That's what it would be for. And, I'd like you guys to think about that. I'd like to put it on the agenda for, our April meeting. And then we can talk about it and we can set a meeting up maybe for May or whatever, give a month to, we're not gonna get 4 quarters in this year, but, we'll get 3 quarters in probably, I'd like to get 3
We
meetings.
could do a third, a third, and a third.
Right, I'd like to get 3 meetings in this year for along those lines.
Sounds great.
Do one and see where we go from there.
Yeah, exactly,
About
exactly. If nobody shows up, well, then okay, we don't have to keep going, but just like to give people that opportunity. Anybody else, any new business or future meetings? Okay, public comment. Jim?
Sorry, I figured I was just watching you guys go on. First of all, I think it's very nice you have the meetings like that. Don't, a lot of people can't do the Zoom at the same time that I rely on the Zoom, but I'd be more than willing if there was a Saturday afternoon or something that you can get together at, something other than, town office, maybe the library or something like that, where it's more casual and everything. I think that's a great idea. We need more and more people to kind of speak up. A better invite of the people to speak up, getting them more involved. I hate to say this, but there's got to be a scare tactic out there because there is so much hidden that people do not know what's happening down the road with this town. And there is future expenses that are going to happen. I just want to make sure you guys are upfront and everyone understands what they are before those costs come up. Secondly, and Julie, I apologize, but I'll bring you out. You're welcome to the board. That looking at my screen to the right, you've added more to the discussion that I see from the screen to the left. I want you to understand, you do not need to back out. Please feel free to just raise your hand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And we totally all understand that you are there as a citizen and we respect you as much. You guys have a great night and we'll talk to you later.
Anything else? Any more public comment?
These days, the world is moving faster than ever.
I'm on my interview now.
All their hands are up.
Hold their hands up. Okay, hi, Tom.
Hi, guys. I wasn't sure if my phone was working, my microphone. I just want to say, I think that's a great idea to do the quarterly information sessions. I think, you constantly hear this theme about the town's not transparent enough or whatever, but I suspect it has nothing to do with willingness to be transparent. It's just, you need a forum to sort of openly discuss and hear about issues. And I think this is a great idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else in? Any other public comment? Okay, I will entertain a motion to
Go into executive for.
enter executive for contractual.
I will make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
All's in favor?
Recording stopped.
Jeannie, you want to push the button?
I think she's got to get everybody out too, though.
Can tell you.
Recording in progress.
Second it.
A motion, have a second? All in favor?
Okay, so no action was taken during that executive session. The meeting was just, for transparency, Jim and everybody else. The meeting was with the rescue squad. Conversation, and again, like I said, that no action was taken. And now that we are back in session, I'd like to move that we probably schedule a special meeting, a special select board meeting. Like on April the 8th at 5 a.m. I mean, 5 p.m., 5 a.m.
No, not 5 a.m., 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Carl doesn't know there's two.
No, I know it's 5 a.m., but no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna come to town business
Right.
at 5 a.m.
So we're gonna schedule a meeting on April 8th, at 5 PM. A special meeting, specifically to, the topic discussed in executive session. Yep. We don't need a motion for a special meeting, so we're just gonna schedule it.
Yep.
Okay,
All right, we gotta go.
I'll entertain a motion to enter executive for legal.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Recording stopped.
executive
Recording in
for legal.
progress.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So now that we are out of executive session, no action was taken during that session. And we are simply currently waiting for communication from the town attorney.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Record.